Hello everyone. In this video I will be discussing how to determine the enthalpy change of formation of a certain reactant or product from an enthalpy change of reaction, which I will illustrate using this example given below, which states that given the standard enthalpy of formation of ethane C2H6 gas is negative 85 kilojoules per mole, and the following equation here, work out the enthalpy change of formation of ethane. Thus, since I'm given enthalpy change of formation values, I know that I will be dealing with enthalpy changes of formation energy cycle, and thus the enthalpy change of the reaction in this question is given as negative 311 kilojoules per mole, which represents this arrow here, which is negative 311 kilojoules per mole. To construct an energy cycle using enthalpy changes of formation, we start by placing the elements that make up either the reactants or products here, as in the previous videos. I will choose the product since it's only one product. It's made up of 2 carbon solid element plus the element in its standard state of hydrogen is H2, so I have 3 H2 gas to bring it to a total of 6 hydrogen atoms. These are the elements that make up both the reactants and the products. The enthalpy change of formation values are always pointing upwards towards the reactants or products as stated previously, and thus the enthalpy change of formation of ethane is what the question asks for, would be placed as X, while the enthalpy change of C2H6, enthalpy change of formation of ethane, is given in the question as negative 85 kilojoules per mole, which I will place here. The ratios are 1 mole for ethane and 1 mole for ethane. The hydrogen gas here is already in its pure elemental form, and thus its enthalpy change of formation would be 0, and that's why no value will be added or an arrow won't be added. Thus, as we did previously in the previous video, I need to move from this arrow over to this arrow, to the head of the arrow here, through the cycle or through the new route that has been drawn using the cycle. Thus, I want to go from reactants to products. Thus, when using enthalpy change of formation values, we know that the enthalpy change of reaction equals the sum of the enthalpy change of formation of products minus the sum of the enthalpy change of formation of reactants. Thus, in this case, the enthalpy change of reaction is given as negative 311. The enthalpy change of formation of the products, which is only ethane, is negative 85 kilojoules per mole, which I will subtract from the enthalpy change of reaction of formation of ethane, because in this case we'd have to move against the line as stated previously, and thus the sign of this arrow would need to be flipped. Thus it would be added as negative X, and I would solve for X. Thus X would equal 311 minus 85 kilojoules per mole. I've placed such an example in the worksheet that I require you to solve. Please have a look at the worksheet and send it to me as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.